Hi, beautiful soul. Let's say that you feel called for more, especially with this new year. Happy New Year. I wish you all the best for 2026 and that all your dreams becomes a reality, that you have more courage to call in what you really desire, and that you receive healing at all the right places. I send you so much love, abundance, and infinite blessings. In this video, we are going to talk about feeling called for more, but feeling like, oh, I don't know what to do because I don't want to burn out, and I also don't want to stay just in inaction. If you feel called for more, maybe it's in YouTube, maybe it's in self-expression or in growing your wealth. You feel tired of hustling, of forcing things, of working too hard and not seeing the results. Maybe you feel like you are on the edge of burnout, or maybe you are overthinking and inaction. So the first point is to rest, because when you rest, you give yourself permission to be a receptor for divine inspiration and divine guidance. It might be something that will change everything as you know it, but when you give yourself permission to listen to that inner guidance and then following it is very important as well, then you start going in the right direction, right? It might not be as fast as you want, but it is your direction because it was coming from your inner guidance. Here you might ask me, but how do I trust my inner guidance? Well, it is something that you cultivate by reducing the noise around you. If you can create silence around you, it helps you to connect with that inner guidance, because it's always there, but we don't always listen to it. But when we have silence around us and we are not struggling, we are not in survival mode, we are calm enough and relaxed enough, then we can listen to that inner voice easily. We can understand what it wants from us. So this is how we can get from pressure and from following just strategies and tactics, from getting ourselves be overwhelmed by numbers like YouTube analytics, and getting into more alignment, inner alignment. Because when you are following a mission, then it becomes more easy for you to be more consistent, to be more devoted to that mission. And if you have been feeling in scarcity, well, first of all, an example for what I was talking to you about is to take some time to be in silence, like in your life. Reduce the responsibility and give yourself permission to have a huge reset. That's what happened to me last year. I had 3 months where I just went within and I did my work, but in a more relaxed way, right? And I was like, I will do what I can do and I will be ready when I'm ready. So it is not that I planned 3 months. It was more like we will take this time off and we will see when the inspiration comes. That time was, like some people would say, disappear and then come back. But for me, it didn't come from the sense that I will disappear and then I'll come back and shock everyone. No, it was more like listening to that inner guidance who said, you need to rest. You need to rest deeply. And a byproduct of that resting phase is healing, right? Because our body knows how to heal itself, and it's the external noise, the stress, the pressure, the responsibilities that keep us from healing. For example, if you don't sleep enough, sleeping is when the body takes the time to regenerate, to heal. And so if you don't sleep enough, it can have an avalanche of other problems, health problems, stress problems, even trauma problems like being in survival mode all the time, anxiety or overthinking. Mental health problems can come from not sleeping enough. And so when you give yourself permission to rest, to take naps, to go on time to bed, at least most of the time, or at least being conscious of that, right? Because even for me, it's still a constant struggle, but I can see the feedback when I'm not sleeping well and not sleeping enough. For me, it comes in my skin. And when I sleep enough and when I rest well, I can see the feedback also in my internal state and in my skin as well. So what is it for you? What are some signs that you know when you don't sleep well? You have those signs. You see, sometimes we just take them down, that we are not so sensitive to those things anymore. And we think, okay, I've solved a problem. But taking getting rid of the symptoms is not actually the solution, because the symptoms are actually that feedback mechanism that will tell you, oh, something is off, oh, you are not sleeping enough, oh, you are not eating well, and all of that. Now let's talk about being in scarcity mode, because this is one of the biggest blockage when we want abundance in our life, in any area of our life, by the way. It's not just scarcity in finances, it can be scarcity in our way of thinking. Because if we think that it is difficult to have growth in any area of life, then it becomes difficult for us, right? So give yourself permission to transition from that scarcity state where you think, oh, everything is so difficult, into a state where you start believing more and more that it is possible for you, that abundance is possible for you in all areas of your life, that abundance is actually your default birthright, your natural state. And you might say, yes, I want to trust my intuition, but I'm afraid that I will not have results. Well, this is when our feminine energy comes in place. That will help us to understand that intuitive part of us, but also to trust our desires. What do I truly desire? And to know that within us, we already have everything that we need to bring that desire to life. And it's not like you will see the whole path at once, like, okay, I know exactly what I'll be doing. But it's more like it will unfold step after step, intuitive guidance after intuitive guidance, because those are divine whispers on how to get to your desire. So when you are humble enough to listen to what the path is for you, it might look different from the path of other people. But that inner guidance is really the master on showing you where to go next. And when you take that step, the next step will be shown. And this is how you will create that with that inner fire, with that inner conviction, that inner certainty that you know exactly what you are doing. So I'm drinking my protein drink. And since it's warm, it's getting hot here, so I'm going to take some clothes off. The way to follow your intuition and still have results is to keep learning, keep bringing yourself those skills that are necessary for your mission. For example, invest in yourself through courses, through coaching, and then still listen to your inner guidance on what to do in your case, how that course or that coaching applied to your case. So not, oh, I've heard this already, but how can I apply this in my life right now? This is how your intuition will guide you to use what you are learning in order to bring in results. An example for this is that for a long time, I was seeing like no movement on my YouTube channel. And then I had the intuitive guidance to double down on the shorts. Like, I don't have to stress myself to create shorts because I already feel like one video per week is what I can deliver, right? But if I take that video and I repurpose them into shorts, then it's another story. And I've created so many videos in the past already that I can also use and repurpose, right? So having daily shorts, I started with 3 shorts per week, but then I see like, oh, I can even use my old videos and repurpose them into shorts. So with that strategy, I'm able to have daily shorts, right? And with those daily shorts, I'm constantly attracting new eyes to my content. And it's how I was not able to have massive growth, like subscribers wise, but in terms of views, I am attracting new eyes on my content. So I'm being more visible. And you see, there is this saying that someone needs to see your content at least 7 times before they start paying attention. So if you send shorts every day, you increase the probability for someone to see your content at least 7 times and to say, hey, I really like what this person is saying, right? Or your energy can really touch them the first time that they see you and they subscribe directly. So from my YouTube analytics, I see that in the last 3 months where I've been applying this daily shorts method, I've been attracting 2,000 new viewers instead of maybe 42 in the past, right? And from those 2,000 people who at least scrolled through and saw my content at least once, 15 from them are subscribers, right? So welcome to the new subscribers, and thank you to all of you for being here in our soul family. So beautiful soul, this is how you can listen to your intuition and still have results. And don't compare yourself to other people, because it is the fastest way to not be grateful for what you have, for those results that you are seeing in your own life, in your own desire, right? So for me especially, I'm so grateful that I've been seeing that movement in my channel after many years, many months, of quiet stuckness, what feels like stuckness. But I know that it is not stuckness, because at the mind level I am thinking and I'm evolving in learning what is working and what is not working, right? And I'm learning also new strategies that I can apply to change the game, and how to take inspired action without burning out. Well, I've been so close to burnout in the previous years on YouTube. So this time I'm choosing myself, right? Instead of choosing the content and edit and over edit and not sleep. No. This time I respect myself enough to take care of myself, like love yourself enough to prioritize your nutrition and your sleep. And with that, I see that what I can deliver is one video per week, right? And with that also, I see that if I want to do a very structured video, it takes me more time than if I'm just flowing with videos. So I give myself permission to have both formats. Some formats where I just flow, I just share my wisdom raw, like it's transmitted to me, and other formats where I take the time to create some structure in with some steps, right? It is the mixture of those two that helps me to have that consistency. And like I said, the consistency is not just in the actions that you do, like posting those videos. How is your energy? What are your beliefs? Because underneath that, those actions, those inspired actions that you will take, if you believe, oh, this is not going to work, well, you will be proven right and it will not work. But if you believe this is going to be so easy and fun for me to do, well, that beautiful energy will be what is underneath what you are doing, right? And this will create different results than when you are feeling like, oh, I'm just forcing this so that I can get my weekly video out, right? So one other important aspect that changed the game for me was to unite within me my inner masculine and my inner feminine. The inner feminine is that intuition, that inspiration, that innovation, that need to flow, to have ease, to have fun, right? And the inner masculine is that builder. It needs the structure, it needs the discipline, it needs the consistency. Letting both fall in love within you while respecting and loving and choosing yourself and being devoted to yourself ensures that you take care of your health, mental health, physical health, of your family, of your connections, while you are taking care of that endeavor that you have, be it the YouTube, your business, your family, any project that you have, your work. You can take care of all of that when your inner feminine and your inner masculine are in harmony instead of competing with each other. An example for this was with makeup for me. I was in inner conflict, like, okay, I want to wear makeup, but at the same time, it is so stressful for my skin and the time that it involves with putting it on and then cleaning it off. I'm like, okay, the inner feminine has the desire, she wants that beauty and all of that, and the inner masculine is the one saying, okay, you want this, here's how we will get it. And this is how on some video I'm wearing makeup, on other video I'm not wearing makeup, and both are aligned for me. I don't give myself the inner conflict anymore of, oh, I need to be only one way, because I know that my feminine wants to flow and to show a different aspect of who she is, right? And the masculine is going to be the one ensuring that things get done anyway. Alright, guys, the next one is that when you are able to create that balance between your feminine flow and your grounded structure with the masculine, then you can really have what you desire with your mind, with your body. You can really feel the energy, and you can move the stuck energy and start seeing the new energy, start bringing in more of the new energy. So how does it look like when you have that feminine flow? Well, you work in cycles. When you have time to rest, well, you just rest. And how to ensure that you will not lack consistency is to batch when you have that energy, that inspiration. You work not more, but you milk that intuition, that divine inspiration. You do the most out of it. So how does it look like for me? It's like I will use my inspiration on phases where I feel like, yes, it's time to film videos. And I will use the structure, like I said. Some videos are more structures, some videos are just flowing, and maybe I can batch 2 videos with my level of energy. I listen to that. If the energy that I have is enough just for 1 video, that is okay. And other days I will have my courses also that I will do a video for, and then do a video for YouTube and be okay, right? So this is how I listen to my energy levels. And then I plan in advance, like on my YouTube channel right now, the next week it's already planned. And if it's not the case, then I try on Thursday or Friday to make sure that the content for the next week is already planned, because it helps me to have a more relaxed week than if I have on Monday to stress about the content of that week, right? So if you can do that for 2 weeks at least, is super. And if you plan to go in silence mode, then I recommend that you do that even for 4 weeks, because when you have 4 weeks planned, yes, the content will not be as fresh, but you will have that time and that peace to go within, to go in silence mode without your responsibilities and your consistency lacking. Another important point is that when we talk about consistency, it's also the consistency in your energy. So this is why it's important to move the stuck energy, the limiting belief, the feeling like, oh, things are not working, and instead replacing them with that more sun-like energy, like, yes, things are bright. I can bring my light into every aspect of life, right? And I can bring my light into my desires by feeding them with my energy, with my consistency, with the daily inspired action that I will take. And another powerful thing to have that feminine flow and grounded structure is to delegate. When someone can do something for you, delegate that thing. Especially if the person is qualified and they love to do that thing, well, you have a winner, right? For example, on some days when I want to go deep with my videos, I ask my husband to take the kids out, and I ask him also to do some meals, right? The meals that he will create for the family maybe are simpler meals, but it will be okay for that day where I'm focused on creating my videos. And for the other days of the week, I'll be full on creating meals for my family with my feminine energy, with my beautiful energy in it, right? So this is how I try to dance to have my feminine flow and the structure as well. Along the journey as well, you will have phases where you feel like, oh, I have too many things to do. I don't even believe that this is going to work, right? It is time to ask yourself, what is actually different? Because if you only focus on what is still the same, like I still feel stuck, well, it's not objective. It's just a feeling that you have, right? And you can actually change that feeling by thinking that you are so fortunate, you are so privileged, right? You are so lucky, and your luck is going to go growing and growing because of the beautiful person that you are, the beautiful soul that you are, can only have the desire come true. Because if it was put in your heart in the first place, it's exactly because it's for you. And to go there, you have to bridge that gap between where you are and where you want to go. So start thinking empowering thought. Like, I can see that I'm growing. Checking the analytic, not to see what is still the same, but to see the slightest improvement and focus on that improvement and say, how can I do even more of this? This is how you will get to that place where you wake up one day and you are living in your dream, and it seems so normal, and you don't remember how far you have come. So please remember how far you have come, remember it right now, and express your gratitude for that. This will bring so much light. This will make your day even brighter. All right, beautiful soul, I will leave you with this, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Until next time, stay very inspired. I love you so much. Happy New Year.